One look in this trailer tells us everything has changed. No loud words, no big speeches. Just quiet faces and heavy silence. Episode 8 is not playing games anymore. This is the moment where secrets turn into bullets and choices turn into consequences. What looks like a simple setup is actually a warning that someone is about to lose everything. The Episode 8 trailer for Power Book 4 Force does something very different from past previews. It does not rush, it slows down, the camera stays longer. On faces, on pauses, on moments where characters are thinking instead of talking. That choice alone tells us this episode is not about action first. It is about decisions that cannot be taken back. When a trailer goes quiet like this, it usually means something heavy is coming. The most important moment is not a gunshot or a fight, it is the silence between scenes. Characters are shown standing alone, not surrounded by allies. This shows separation, it shows that trust is breaking. Episode 8 feels like the line in the sand where everyone is forced to pick a side, even if that side leads to death. In Power, this type of episode usually changes the balance of power for the rest of the season. Another key detail is how the trailer avoids showing full conversations. We see parts of talks cut short before answers come. This tells us people are hiding the truth. Someone knows more than they are saying. And Episode 8 is where those lies start to crack. When Power does this, it means betrayal is close. Not loud betrayal, but quiet moves behind closed doors. The pacing of the trailer also matters. It starts calm, then slowly builds pressure, no release. That pressure stays until the end. This is a clear sign that Episode 8 will end on a strong moment, not a clean win. Someone will walk away thinking they are safe, while the audience knows they are not. Power loves ending episodes like this to set up chaos in the next one. There is also a feeling of final warning in how characters look at each other. These are not friendly looks, these are looks of doubt and fear. It feels like everyone knows something bad is coming, but nobody knows who it will hit first. Episode 8 is shaping up to be the episode where the story turns dark for good. Most importantly, this trailer makes one thing clear: this is no longer about building an empire, it is about survival. Every move from this point forward will be about staying alive, not winning. That shift alone makes Episode 8 one of the most important episodes of the season. When a Power trailer focuses more on faces than action, it means the damage will be emotional before it becomes physical. Episode 8 is setting the stage for pain, loss, and a power shift that cannot be reversed. This is the calm before everything breaks. In Episode 8, everything around Tommy feels tighter, heavier, and more dangerous. The trailer shows him moving through spaces that no longer feel safe. He is not surrounded by his people, he is not relaxed. His face tells a story before he says a word. This is not the look of a man in control, this is the look of someone who knows the walls are closing in. Tommy has always survived by staying one step ahead. But the Episode 8 trailer suggests that gap is shrinking. Every move he makes feels watched. Every decision feels rushed. The calm confidence he usually carries is replaced with focus and tension. This tells us Tommy is no longer hunting freely, he is reacting. And in the Power world, reacting instead of planning is how mistakes happen. One key detail is how Tommy is framed alone in multiple shots. Power never does this by accident. When a character is shown alone again and again, it means trust is gone. Allies may still be nearby, but loyalty is weak. Someone around Tommy is not being honest. And Episode 8 looks like the moment where that hidden threat starts to surface. Another important clue is Tommy's silence. He talks less in this trailer than usual. Silence in Power is dangerous. It means thinking, weighing options, and preparing for something bad. Tommy knows a move is coming, but he does not know from where. That uncertainty is new for him, and it puts him in unfamiliar territory. The trailer also hints that Tommy may be forced into a choice where every option leads to loss. Help one side and create a new enemy, stay neutral and look weak. Strike first and risk starting a war too early. Episode 8 feels like the episode where Tommy realizes there is no clean path forward anymore. What makes this situation even more dangerous is Tommy's past. His reputation follows him. Everyone knows what he is capable of. And that makes people afraid. Fear leads to betrayal. People strike first when they think someone like Tommy might strike them later. Episode 8 is built on that fear, and it puts Tommy in the crosshairs. There is also a strong feeling that Tommy is being tested, not just by enemies, but by fate. Power often puts its main characters in moments where their instincts decide everything. Episode 8 looks like one of those moments. One wrong read, one wrong trust, and everything he has built could collapse. Most importantly, this episode seems to question who Tommy really is right now. Is he still the hunter who controls the board, or has he become the target everyone wants gone? The trailer does not answer this, it only shows us the pressure building. Episode 8 will decide whether Tommy takes back control or loses it peace. By Peace. In Power Book 4, Force, survival is never about strength alone. It is about timing, trust, and knowing when to move. Episode 8 puts all three against Tommy at the same time, and that makes this moment one of the most dangerous of his journey so far. Episode 8 places Diamond and Jennard on a path that feels impossible to turn back from. The trailer does not show loud arguments or clear fights between them, but that is exactly why it feels dangerous. Power often hides its biggest explosions behind quiet tension. The distance between these two brothers is no longer about business alone. It is personal, deep, and filled with old wounds that never healed. Diamond carries himself like a man trying to hold order together, but the strain is clear. His eyes show doubt, not just toward enemies, but toward his own blood. Jennard, on the other hand, moves with anger that feels ready to spill over. He is tired of feeling second. Tired of waiting, tired of being asked to trust a system that never worked for him. Episode 8 looks like the moment where patience finally runs out. The trailer uses short, broken moments between them instead of full scenes. That choice matters. It tells us they are no longer speaking freely when brothers stop talking. It means resentment has replaced trust. Every look becomes a challenge. Every pause becomes a threat. Episode 8 builds on this silence and turns it into pressure that cannot stay contained. Another key detail is how both men are shown surrounded by different people. They are no longer moving as one unit, their worlds are separating. And that separation creates danger when brothers stop sharing the same circle. Outside voices get louder. Those voices push ideas, doubts, and fear. Episode 8 feels like the episode where outside influence finally succeeds in pulling them apart. Pride plays a major role here. Jennard's pride has been wounded for too long. He wants respect, not promises. Diamond's pride comes from leadership and control and losing. That scares him more than he wants to admit. Episode 8 forces these two versions of pride to clash, and when pride leads the way, blood usually follows. There is also history working against them, old mistakes, old betrayals, and old pain never truly disappeared. They were just buried under business. Episode 8 digs those feelings back up. The trailer hints that one small decision will bring everything they avoided into the open. When that happens, there will be no way to fix it with words. What makes this situation tragic is that both brothers believe they are right. Diamond believes he is protecting the future. Jennard believes he is fighting for his place in it. Episode 8 shows us that when two people believe they are right, nobody is willing to step back. That is how families fall apart in the Power universe. This episode also suggests that once the line is crossed, it stays crossed. Power rarely allows brothers to go back to how things were. Episode 8 feels like the point of no return. Even if they survive, the bond they once had will never be the same. Trust will be replaced by fear and watchful eyes. Episode 8 makes one thing very clear without ever saying it out loud: the most dangerous person is not the loudest one. The trailer spends very little time showing clear villains, and that absence is not accidental in Power. The characters who get the least screen time in trailers often end up doing the most damage. Episode 8 feels designed around a threat that is already in motion, already planned, and already waiting for the right moment to strike. What stands out most is who we do not see. Certain faces are missing, certain reactions are cut away before we can read them fully. This creates unease. When Power hides characters, it usually means they are operating quietly. They do not need attention, they are confident in their position. Episode 8 builds tension by letting the audience feel watched, just like the characters are. The trailer also shows several characters moving without clear purpose. They are driving, walking, entering rooms, but we are not told why. This suggests coordination. Someone is pulling strings behind the scenes, guiding events without being seen. Episode 8 looks like the episode where that hidden hand starts shaping outcomes instead of reacting to them. Another important detail is timing. Conversations are interrupted, scenes cut early. Moments end before answers are given. This tells us plans are already set. There is no time for long talks because decisions have already been made. Episode 8 is not about asking questions anymore. It is about watching consequences unfold. The silent threat in this episode is not just a person, it is a strategy. Someone is using fear, distance, and confusion as weapons by keeping everyone unsure of who to trust. This unseen force weakens alliances without firing a single shot. Episode 8 thrives on this uncertainty, pushing characters into mistakes they do not even realize they are making. There is also a strong feeling that this threat understands the players very well. Moves are targeted, pressure is applied where it hurts most, weak bonds are tested, old tensions are stirred. Episode 8 suggests that whoever is behind this chaos knows personal history and uses it carefully. That kind of knowledge does not come from the outside. It comes from someone close. Power often introduces turning points by revealing that the real enemy was never obvious. Episode 8 follows that pattern. The danger is not the person holding a gun. It is the person who decided where the gun would be pointed long before it was fired. That level of control changes everything. This episode also hints that once the silent threat makes itself known, it may already be too late. Damage will be done, trust will be broken. Blood may already be spilled. Episode 8 feels like the moment where characters realize they were playing the wrong game the entire time. Episode 8 carries a different kind of energy, one that feels heavy even before anything explodes. The trailer does not show violence as fast or exciting. Instead, it treats it like something unavoidable. Every quick shot of movement, every tense pause, feels like a step closer to a moment that cannot be stopped. This is not chaos for show. This is violence with meaning, and Power never uses that lightly. What stands out is how the action scenes are framed. They are not long, they are sharp and sudden. That tells us the damage will come quickly and without warning. Episode 8 looks like it will strike hard and then sit with the result. Power often does this when a loss matters. When a character's fate changes the story, the show slows down afterward so the weight can be felt. The trailer also suggests that no one is fully prepared for what is coming. Characters react instead of acting, eyes widen, bodies freeze. These are not people in control of the moment. This tells us the violence will catch someone off guard. In Power, surprise usually leads to death or irreversible loss. Episode 8 feels built around that shock. Another important clue is how the trailer avoids showing the full outcome of any violent moment. We see the lead up, but not the result. That choice is deliberate. It builds fear and expectation. It tells the audience that something bad happens, but it refuses to soften the blow early. Episode 8 wants the impact to land in real time, not in preview form. The consequences of this violence seem deeper than physical damage. Relationships will shift, blame will spread, fear will take root. Power often uses a major loss to reset the board, forcing characters to rethink their loyalty and goals. Episode 8 looks like the episode where that reset happens. There is also a sense that this loss will feel unfair, not heroic, not deserved. That is how Power makes its most painful moments. Someone may be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or trust the wrong person for just 1 second. Episode 8 feels like it will punish hesitation, not mistakes. What makes this episode especially dangerous is how close everyone already is to the edge. Tensions are high, trust is low. When violence enters a space like that, it does not stay contained, it spreads. Episode 8 may start with one act of violence, but its effect will echo through the rest of the season. This episode also appears to mark the end of safety for at least one character. The trailer's tone suggests that someone important crosses a line they cannot come back from, either through death, betrayal, or exposure. Power uses moments like this to remind the audience that no one is untouchable. Episode 8 is not designed to finish a story. It is designed to lock the story into its final shape. The trailer makes it clear that this episode is about setting positions, not celebrating wins. Every scene feels like a piece being placed on a board that is about to catch fire. Once these pieces are set, there will be no turning back in the episodes that follow. What stands out most is how calm the trailer feels compared to what we know is coming. That calm is dangerous. It suggests that plans are already in motion and do not need loud attention. Episode 8 looks like the episode where characters believe they are finally safe, only for the audience to see how exposed they really are. Power often uses this false sense of security to prepare for explosive endings. The episode also appears to separate survivors from victims. Some characters are shown making moves, thinking ahead and adjusting to new threats. Others feel stuck, reacting too late, or holding onto old ways of thinking. Episode 8 quietly decides who is built for the endgame and who is not. This decision shapes everything that follows. Another important detail is how alliances are tested without being fully broken yet. Episode 8 feels like the last warning before loyalty means nothing. Characters are still choosing sides, but those choices are becoming permanent. Power rarely gives second chances after this stage. Once Episode 8 passes, trust will be replaced by strategy. The trailer also hints that the true villain of the season may not be the person causing the most noise. The real danger seems patient, controlled, and prepared. Episode 8 plants the seeds for this reveal without exposing it fully. The audience is meant to feel the presence of something bigger, something smarter, waiting for the right time to step forward. There is also a strong feeling that Episode 8 changes the meaning of power itself. Early in the season, power meant territory, money, and control. Now, power looks more like information, timing, and influence. Episode 8 shifts the rules of the game, and characters who do not adapt will fall behind quickly. Most importantly, this episode sets the emotional tone for the finale run. Loss, guilt, and fear begin to drive decisions. Characters stop thinking about long-term dreams and start thinking about tomorrow. Episode 8 removes hope and replaces it with survival instinct. That shift is what pushes power stories into their darkest and most memorable chapters. By the end of episode 8, the audience may not have all the answers, but they will understand one truth: the war has already started. The next episodes will not be about avoiding conflict. They will be about enduring it. Episode 8 quietly pulls the trigger on everything that follows.